Good morning. Now we are going to talk about narrative text, and the objective of the lesson is to know the social function of the text, the generic structure of the text, and then the language feature of the text. Now I'm going to read the text. A long time ago, in the depth of the ocean, there lived a young, fragile sea turtle. He had a boastful neighbor, sea snail. They were afraid of the king of sharks. One day, when sea snail was boasting about his shell, the king of sharks passed. The sea snail didn't see him. Suddenly, the king of sharks made a loud roar and gave sea snail a big jump. The sea snail screamed and asked for help. When the king of sharks was about to eat the sea snail, the sea turtle came and kicked the king of sharks in the nose. The king of sharks yelled aloud and dozing off to sleep. The sea snail thanked the sea turtle and said, "You saved me, but my shell has gotten flat when the king came and tried to eat me. Here you can have it." The sea turtle was happy. From that day on, sea turtle had his beautiful curly-shaped shell. He was impressed about it, but never boasted. Now, what is the social function of the text? The social function of narrative text is to entertain the reader with the story. The structure of the text is orientation, complication, and resolution. Now let's find out what is the orientation of the text. The orientation of this text is: a long time ago, in the depth of the ocean, there lived a young, fragile sea turtle. He had a boastful neighbor, sea snail. They were afraid of the king of sharks. Now the complication of the text. One day, when sea snail was boasting about his shell, the king of sharks passed. The sea snail didn't see him. Suddenly, the king of sharks made a loud roar and gave sea snail a big jump. The sea snail screamed and asked for help. When the king of sharks was about to eat the sea snail, the sea turtle came and kicked the king of sharks in the nose. The king of sharks yelled aloud and dozing off to sleep. Now the resolution of the text. The sea snail thanked the sea turtle and said, "You saved me, but my shell has gotten flat when the king came and tried to eat me. Here you can have it." The sea turtle was happy. From that day on, sea turtle had his beautiful curly-shaped shell. He was impressed about it, but never boasted. What is actually orientation of the text? It is about the opening paragraph, where the characters of the story are introduced, while complication of the text is where the problems in the story developed, and resolution is where the problems in the story is solved. Reorientation of text is the closing remark to the story, and it is optional. It consists of a moral lesson, advice, or teaching from the writer. We are going to talk about the language feature of the text. The text has several adjectives such as boastful, and then depth, afraid of, young. The adverb in the story is allowed. suddenly, here. And of course, narrative text always uses past tense. Lift. Were afraid. Was boasting. Didn't see him. Made a loud roar. What is the moral value from the text? So the lesson is, as a human being, we are not supposed to be boastful because in life we need each other.